Something unusual happens inside the human body every single day, yet almost nobody talks about it. Deep inside your cells, tiny engines decide how much energy you will have, how fast you recover, how sharply you think, and even how quickly you age. These engines are your mitochondria. And here is the part that surprises most people: your body can create new ones. Not only can you strengthen the mitochondria you already have, but you can actually increase their number and upgrade your internal power grid. This is not a theory, and it is not hype. It is backed by strong scientific evidence. In the last decade, researchers have uncovered a pathway inside the body that switches on when you eat certain foods. When this pathway activates, your cells begin producing fresh mitochondria, new engines, new energy, a brighter and more efficient metabolic system. Most people think nutrition only feeds the mitochondria they were born with, but modern studies show something far more exciting. Certain nutrients can push your cells to build more. More mitochondria means more ATP, better endurance, sharper mental focus, and greater long-term resiliency. In this video, you will learn about 4 foods supported by scientific research that help spark this process known as mitochondrial biogenesis. These foods do not just maintain your current energy levels. They encourage your body to upgrade itself from the inside out. And here is the twist. Most of these foods are common, but their deeper mitochondrial benefits are rarely discussed. Even people who eat them regularly often do not know the hidden biological triggers they activate. You are about to discover why these foods matter, how they affect the PGC1 alpha pathway, why your mitochondria respond to specific nutrients, and how small adjustments in your diet can create lasting changes in your cellular performance. This video will show you surprising details most people have never heard before. For example, one of these foods does far more than help with general health. It affects the shape and structure of your mitochondria, helping them fuse, divide, and adapt so they produce energy more efficiently. Another food contains compounds that talk directly to your DNA, turning on genes that support cellular regeneration. And one item on this list has been used in traditional diets for thousands of years, but only recently has science confirmed its deep effect on mitochondrial networks. These are not random superfoods thrown into a list for entertainment. Each one is linked to published research, metabolic pathways, and measurable changes inside real mitochondria. Stay with this video until the end, because each section builds on the previous one. You will not only learn the names of the foods, but also how they work, how often you should include them in your diet, and why the combination matters. You will also hear about a few lesser-known scientific findings that reveal how these foods influence aging, performance, and cellular stress. If you want clearer mornings, more stable energy, better workouts, sharper mental clarity, and a healthier metabolic foundation, then understanding the science behind mitochondrial biogenesis is one of the most powerful steps you can take. This is more than nutrition. This is a look inside your own cellular machinery. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to support your mitochondria in a way that most people never learn. You are about to see how 4 simple foods can activate one of your body's most important biological upgrades. So stay with me, because each insight in this video reveals another piece of the full picture. Welcome to our channel, and thank you for being here today. If you want more science-based videos that help you transform your health in simple and realistic ways, make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss out. Let us begin. Deep inside every cell in your body, there are tiny structures working non-stop to keep you alive. These structures are mitochondria, often called the energy generators of the cell. Their main job is to produce ATP, the molecule your body uses as fuel for every action you take. From moving your muscles to repairing tissues to powering your brain cells, ATP is the currency of life, and mitochondria are the factories that make it. But here is where things get more interesting. Your body is not limited to the mitochondria you were born with. It has the ability to create new ones through a process known as mitochondrial biogenesis. This process is not random. It follows a precise biological pathway controlled by several key molecules, one of the most important being PGC1 alpha. When this molecule switches on, your cells start building fresh mitochondria, strengthening the overall energy system inside your tissues. Scientists have studied this pathway for years, and the evidence is clear. When PGC1 alpha is activated, mitochondrial numbers increase, and the quality of those mitochondria improves as well. This matters for your health more than most people realize. More mitochondria means more ATP, which translates to better energy levels, stronger metabolism, and greater physical and mental resilience. People often think low energy comes from being tired, stressed, or busy, but in many cases, the deeper reason is that their mitochondria are not producing enough power. When you create new mitochondria, your cells can respond better to stress, recover faster, and maintain higher performance throughout the day. It affects everything from blood sugar handling to muscle endurance, cognitive clarity, and long-term aging. And here's the part that connects back to your daily choices. Research shows that diet plays a major role in mitochondrial biogenesis. Certain nutrients, plant compounds, and dietary patterns can activate the same pathways that stimulate new mitochondrial growth. What you eat can either support that process or slow it down. Your food choices have the potential to influence your cellular machinery in ways most people never think about. Now that we know why this process matters, let us go to the foods that help make it happen. First on the list are marine sources of omega-3 fats, especially foods rich in DHA and EPA. These nutrients are found mainly in fatty fish, such as salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, and herring. They are known for supporting brain and heart health, but their relationship with mitochondria goes much deeper than most people think. Omega-3 fats interact directly with the membrane of the mitochondria, helping them stay flexible, efficient, and able to produce energy at a higher level. But the most interesting part is how omega-3 seth influence the genes that control your mitochondrial engines. Research has shown that diets high in omega-3 fats can increase the expression of genes involved in mitochondrial fatty acid oxidation. In simple words, your cells become better at breaking down fat and turning it into usable energy. This improves not only how your mitochondria work, but also how many of them become active at any given moment. Studies have also reported improvements in mitochondrial efficiency, meaning the mitochondria can generate more ATP while producing less cellular waste or stress. When the internal energy system becomes more efficient, your overall metabolic health rises with it. Omega-3 salts also play a role in activating the very pathways responsible for creating new mitochondria. They support the environment inside the cell that allows the mitochondrial biogenesis process to switch on. Over time, regular intake of these fats leads to more stable mitochondrial networks, better energy production, and greater cellular endurance. This is one of the reasons why populations that eat a lot of marine foods often show better metabolic markers and slower age-related decline. For practical use, aim for 2 servings of fatty fish per week if possible. If you do not eat fish, other sources like algae-based omega-3 supplements, chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts can still provide beneficial fatty acids, though they do not offer DHA and EPA at the same level. Including even small amounts of marine omega-3Cs consistently can create real changes inside your mitochondria over time. Next food works by polyphenols. Second on the list are foods rich in plant polyphenols, such as dark cocoa, berries, grapes, pomegranates, and other deeply colored fruits. These foods are packed with natural compounds that do far more than provide antioxidants. They interact with your cellular signaling systems in ways that directly influence mitochondrial growth and performance. Polyphenols are among the most studied plant molecules in nutritional science, and their impact on mitochondria has become a major area of research in recent years. One of the key discoveries is that polyphenols can stimulate the PGC1 alpha pathway, the same pathway that tells your cells to begin creating new mitochondria. When this pathway becomes active, your cells respond by building additional mitochondrial units and upgrading the ones they already have. This process improves the overall capacity of your energy system, making you more resilient to stress, more efficient at burning fuel, and better equipped to maintain high energy levels throughout the day. Polyphenols essentially act as signals that tell your cells it is time to strengthen their power factories. Reviews of scientific studies have shown that bioactive compounds from plant foods can increase mitochondrial mass or number. Researchers have observed that these compounds influence enzymes and proteins involved in mitochondrial structure, helping them fuse, divide, and adapt more effectively. This is why people who regularly consume polyphenol-rich foods often experience improvements in physical performance, metabolic health, and inflammation control. The changes do not just occur on the surface, they happen deep inside the cell, at the level where energy is actually made. To get these benefits consistently, it helps to include at least one polyphenol-rich food every day. A handful of berries in the morning, a serving of grapes, or a small square of high cocoa dark chocolate can all support mitochondrial biogenesis. Pomegranate seeds, blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries are especially powerful choices. Some people also use grape extract or enjoy a small amount of red wine, though moderation is important. The key is steady intake, because the body responds best when these compounds appear in the diet regularly rather than occasionally. Food number 3 takes a different route. Third on the list are nitrate-rich vegetables, with beetroot and leafy greens being the most powerful examples. These foods contain naturally occurring nitrates that the body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that plays a major role in blood flow, oxygen delivery, and overall cellular energy. While many people think nitrates are only related to cardiovascular health, their influence reaches all the way down to your mitochondria. When blood flow improves and oxygen becomes more available, your cells are able to produce energy more efficiently, and the mitochondria are placed in an environment where they can function at a higher level. Nitrates help widen blood vessels, making it easier for nutrients and oxygen to reach working tissues. This matters because mitochondria rely heavily on oxygen to generate ATP through oxidative phosphorylation. When more oxygen reaches the cells, the mitochondria can operate at their full potential. Some studies suggest that this improved oxygen environment not only boosts existing mitochondrial performance, but may also support the internal processes related to mitochondrial formation. While direct evidence in humans for nitrate-driven mitochondrial biogenesis is still developing, the research on mitochondrial dynamics provides an important link. Improved oxygen delivery and better cellular conditions can influence how mitochondria fuse, divide, and adapt, which are essential steps in building and maintaining a strong mitochondrial network. Beetroot is especially well studied in this area because it delivers a concentrated dose of dietary nitrates. People who regularly consume beetroot juice or beetroot powder often experience increased endurance, better exercise performance, and improved metabolic markers. Leafy greens, like spinach, arugula, and kale, provide similar benefits, though at slightly lower nitrate levels. These vegetables support a smoother and more efficient energy production process inside the cell. When the mitochondria have better access to oxygen and nutrients, they can operate with less internal stress, produce ATP more effectively, and respond more flexibly to physical and metabolic demands. To make use of these benefits, add a serving of beetroot or dark leafy greens to your meals each day. A small portion of steamed spinach, a handful of arugula, or a shot of beetroot juice can be enough to support healthier mitochondrial function. Many people use beetroot before exercise to enhance stamina, but its everyday benefits extend far beyond workouts. The key is consistency, because the body adapts to a steady intake of these nitrate-rich foods. And finally, the fourth food. Fourth on the list are legumes and other high-quality plant protein and fiber-rich foods, such as soybeans, beans, lentils, and chickpeas. These foods have been part of traditional diets for centuries, yet their impact on mitochondrial health is only now being fully appreciated. Legumes are unique because they combine several nutrients that the mitochondria rely on: plant protein for cellular repair, fiber for gut health, and a variety of bioactive compounds that help regulate metabolic processes. This combination makes them powerful supporters of the conditions needed for mitochondrial growth and maintenance. Research in model organisms has shown how nutrient availability can influence mitochondrial abundance. One well-known study in Drosophila found that when nutrients were balanced and consistently available, mitochondrial numbers increased as cells adapted to a healthier internal environment. While humans are far more complex, the principle remains relevant. When the body receives steady, high-quality nutrition, especially protein and fiber, it is easier for cells to maintain strong mitochondrial networks. Legumes supply essential amino acids that help support enzymes and proteins involved in mitochondrial function, allowing the energy system to operate more efficiently. In humans, the benefits extend even further. High-fiber plant-based foods play a major role in supporting a healthy gut microbiome. When gut bacteria ferment fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids. These molecules travel through the bloodstream and directly influence mitochondrial health by improving energy production, reducing oxidative stress, and supporting cellular communication. This link between gut health and mitochondrial performance is now a major area of research, and legumes are one of the most effective foods for strengthening that connection. The amino acids, fiber, minerals, and plant compounds in legumes create a supportive environment where mitochondrial biogenesis can occur more easily. Including legumes in your daily routine is also practical and accessible. A single meal containing lentils, chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, or soy-based foods can help supply the nutrients your mitochondria rely on. Whether added to salads, soups, stews, or used as the base of a meal, legumes provide long-lasting energy and steady metabolic support. Consistency matters here because the benefits build as your gut and cellular systems adapt to regular intake. Transition to wrap up. Bringing everything together becomes much easier when you look at how each food group supports your mitochondria through a different route. Omega-3 marine foods work at the level of gene expression, helping activate the biological switches that encourage mitochondrial biogenesis. These fats also support the structural integrity of the mitochondrial membrane, which improves the way energy is produced. Polyphenol-rich plants take another path by stimulating signaling pathways, such as PGC1 alpha. This pathway is a major driver of new mitochondrial formation, and when it becomes active, the entire cellular energy system becomes more efficient. Nitrate-rich vegetables help by improving blood flow and oxygen delivery, creating an environment where mitochondria can function with less strain and greater adaptability. Legumes complete the picture by supporting nutrient balance, gut health, and the production of short-chain fatty acids, all of which indirectly help your mitochondria grow stronger and more numerous. A simple way to apply all of this is to spread these foods throughout your day. A morning meal with berries gives you a strong dose of polyphenols at the start of the day. A lunch built around beans or lentils adds plant protein, fiber, and a steady release of nutrients that your cells can use throughout the afternoon. A dinner with a serving of salmon, sardines, or another fatty fish adds the omega-3 fats that activate mitochondrial genes. Between meals, a beetroot snack or a small beetroot juice shot supports oxygen delivery and cellular endurance. This pattern is only an example, but it shows how easy it can be to integrate all four food groups without overthinking it. There are also extra steps that enhance everything you are doing with food. Physical activity is one of the strongest natural stimulators of mitochondrial biogenesis. Even moderate exercise pushes your cells to adapt and build more mitochondria. Limiting processed foods and excessive sugar intake is another powerful step because these foods create metabolic stress that weakens mitochondrial function over time. Sleep and stress management matter as well, since both directly affect how your cells repair themselves and how effectively your mitochondria operate. Reducing exposure to toxins, staying hydrated, and maintaining balanced nutrition all contribute to the overall environment your mitochondria depend on. It is important to remember that this approach supports your mitochondria but does not replace medical advice or cure existing conditions. A varied and balanced diet is always essential, and adjustments should be made thoughtfully. With consistent habits and the right foods, your cells can operate at a much higher level, setting the foundation for a stronger metabolic system. Now we move toward the wrap-up. You just learned 4 science-backed food categories that can actually help your body create new mitochondria, not just preserve the ones you already have. These foods work with your biology, supporting energy production at the deepest level. Start small. Pick just one change this week. Maybe add a daily beetroot shot, a handful of walnuts, or a cup of green tea. Small steps compound. Your mitochondria respond to consistency, not perfection. If this video helped you understand your energy system a little better, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more simple science-based nutrition insights, and share it with someone who's been feeling low on energy. It might help them more than you think. Your cells are ready. Fuel them well, support them daily, and watch your inner power plants grow stronger than ever.